I do want to get your thoughts on this. I know we talked about it last year. I feel like we probably talk about it most years. And for the record, as I always say, as everyone always kind of mentions, it is worth mentioning. It's always based off of wins and losses. The PWI 500 top 10, well, really the 500 came out this week, but the top 10 was a subject of conversation on Tuesday when it was released for 2024. I think the ranking period, the criteria goes from June 30th to June 30th, I believe, 2023 to 2024. So it's not all of 2024, but it did get people talking this past week as far as who ranked where and whatnot. So I'll run down these quickly. And again, you can only debate so much because, again, they go off of, championships won. All kayfabe stuff. It's not based off of shit that happens outside of the ring. They also go off of how many times you wrestled. So as a spoiler alert, Roman Reigns is not on this list. And that sounds wild because he is still one of the biggest stars in all of wrestling. He just wrapped up his 4-year run as undisputed WWE champion, a couple of months ago, and he was in the top 10 last year, if not near number 1. But he was not in the top 10 this year. So 10 was Mystico, the former Sin Cara from WWE. He's actually had a great year in CMLL from what I understand. 9 was Gunther. I don't know why he wasn't higher, even though he was Intercontinental Champion for most of the year. He suffered 1 loss in that time. I don't really get that. But Gunther was number 9, 8 Jon Moxley, 7 MJF, 6 Damian Priest, 5 Tetsuya Naito from New Japan. I think now the current New Japan, or the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, if I'm not mistaken. He beat Moxley for that belt back at Forbidden Door. 4 Seth Rollins, 3 Will Ospreay, 2 Swerve Strickland, number 1 Cody Rhodes. So like I said, a lot of people talking about this past week. Any immediate thoughts in this top 10 500, Mr. Marceau? Because my top takeaway was that Gunther being number 9 just sounded completely fucking ridiculous.
I literally was just about to say that. How the hell is Gunther that low? I mean, I feel like like you said, he had 1 loss all year. He was all over WWE TV. I mean, it's kind of crazy that he was number 9. I mean, I figured when you said Roman was on the list, I figured Cody be number 1, so that doesn't overly surprise me. Who was number 2?
Swerve Strickland. That one makes more sense because obviously
I think Moxley being ahead of Gunther especially kind of annoyed me.
Oh, no, definitely, yeah. No, Moxley being 8 doesn't make a whole lot of sense because, like I said, I think the grading period goes from June to June. Swerve got really hot at the end of last year in the feud with Adam Page. I don't know how many matches he was winning early on during the grading period, but if it was only like a 25% period of the time, or even 20%, I think that kind of outweighs anything he did or did not do early on in the grading period. So him being number 2 is a great call. Will Ospreay obviously having a very good debut year so far in AEW. Rollins 4, I don't really watch New Japan, so Naito being 5, I can't really speak to that at all. Moxley, though, I that one kind of surprised me. I mean, honestly, and it's not even an AEW thing. Even Damian Priest, who I think is great, he's really broken out on his own this past year. I mean, he just split from the Judgment Day at SummerSlam, won the World Heavyweight Championship. But what did he really... I know he was tag team champion for 6 months with Finn Balor, probably more than that, actually, before they dropped the belts at Mania and he became World Heavyweight Champion the next day. I can't remember many singles matches that Damian Priest was winning while he was Mr. Money in the Bank. I felt like he lost a lot of those matches. So him being ahead of a guy like Gunther, who was Intercontinental Champion for most of the grading period, and then went on to win King of the Ring the following month, unless it's a case that he didn't wrestle as many matches as Damian Priest, even that doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, even like you said, I guess I didn't even think of Priest, depending on the period that they're ranking on. Like you said, he didn't win a ton of Mr. Money in the Bank. He was kind of an afterthought. Yeah, he won the belt at Mania, but that was, I don't know, there's 4 months left of this whole grading period. Like you said, Gunther was champion all year, lost the belt, won Money in the Bank, or won King of the Ring, and then was going in to the end of this period of basically being the number 1 contender going for the World Heavyweight Championship. I think maybe just not the sexy pick. I don't know, but, I mean, the fact that he was that high is crazy to me.
Yeah, that is pretty wild. I mean, even Roman Reigns, I know he doesn't wrestle consistently, but that's really what it comes down to. I mean, I can't even say that he wrestled more than Brock did when he was world champion like a decade ago, because I don't think he did. I think from June to June, his last match was obviously at WrestleMania. He wrestled at the Rumble. Before that, you'd have to go back to Crown Jewel, I think, for the last match that he had against LA Knight. SummerSlam against Jay, I think would count in the grading period. Not a whole lot of matches other than that, so that's probably why. But even MJF, I guess the fact that he was world champion for the latter half of 2023 is why he's even in the top 10, because you also have to consider he was gone for the first half of 2024. He was gone for like a good 5-6 month period, while they probably would have been grading. And again, they based all of this on kayfabe stuff, win-loss records, which I don't have in front of me, so it's really not worth debating for more than a couple of minutes than what we're doing right now. But always creates conversation. Every single year does the PWI 500 top 10. I didn't really read the rest of it, but the top 10 always gets people talking.